Hi, I'm Sandra.
Hi, I'm Triffany, and we're friends. Every time we get together, we have these crazy, awesome insights about manifesting, life, synchronicity.
And one day I said, it's too bad we didn't record this because somebody out there could have benefited from hearing this.
And that's how this began.
We never know what we're going to talk about, but when we do and the magic happens, we want to share it with you.
All right, we're live. How are you?
I'm good. I've missed you. It seems like
I
a
missed
really
you
long time.
too. I know. And it was only 2 weeks, right? Just a 2 week holiday break.
Yeah, because we even had lunch in there in between, but it just seems like a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
3 weeks. It might have been 3 weeks because, well, whatever. I've missed you and I'm glad to see you.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. So tell me about I made note of what lesson I was on the Course of Miracles. I'm on 343.
Oh, okay.
Are you ahead or behind now? I have no idea.
No, I'm done. I've started it again.
Oh my gosh. Wow. How did you finish? Because you didn't start until like the 5th or 6th of January.
No, it was the 4th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're doing it again.
Yes, I am.
Good for you.
And do you remember, I don't know, it was probably a couple months ago, I told you I started reading the teacher's manual part of the book. And because I kind of got an intuitive hit that this might be something I could do. I actually even started a mailing list, but I haven't done anything with it, where I thought about sending out just a text every day with the thought prompt for the day, the lesson, I guess, in an email, and having people sign up for that. And that would be something I could populate ahead of time. So people, if they wanted it, or if they didn't want to carry on the book, or they forget to check, or they need those midday reminders, you know, because some of them you're supposed to do a couple times a day or whatever, they could sign up for the mailing thing and then just have this email. So as I started going,
I love it. I want to sign up for this.
You would do that?
Of course. That sounds awesome.
What I want to do then is, because the thing through MailChimp, the way I have it set up now, you put in your newsletter and then you can, either send it right away or you can schedule it. But I want to find out if there's a way that when people sign up, they can start on day one. That way, if they start on January 1 or they start on, July 15th, they can start where they're starting and do it that way. So I want to see if there's a way to do that, because really it would be so cool. It'd be a lot of work up front, but I'd only be populating it once.
Yeah. That sounds great. I don't know. The free version of MailChimp doesn't do it.
Oh, it doesn't? So that would be part of it.
But the upgraded version might have that feature where, you have this list of emails, and no matter when the person signs up to your list, they start with email number 1 or lesson number 1.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. So maybe that's just a phone call to them to see which plan would cover that, because I'm just on the free one right now, But here's the interesting thing is I started looking into, because I started thinking about that, I thought, well, gosh, what would it feel like and look like and taste like if I actually just taught a course through the course of the year about the Course of Miracles. And my friend Davika, she used to live in Colorado. She lives in Texas now, and she came out for the holidays to visit with some friends and family. So we got together a couple times. And the last time we got together, I mentioned to her that I said, oh yeah, I did Course of Miracles in 2016, and I loved it, and I'm doing it again, and actually I feel kind of called to teach it. And she goes, you're kidding me. Me and some friends are doing it for 2017. I said, oh my God, that's so cool. Well, we'll have to talk about it. Well, then Saturday, I get a message from her going, hey, you want to beta test a course with the people that I'm learning this with? And I told her, I said, you know what? When the universe calls, I say yes. So I have no idea what this is going to look like. I meditated on it over the weekend and gave it some thought, because it's a beta test situation. And obviously I'm not asking for payment because they're volunteering to give me feedback on what would be a course, I'm going to keep it super simple, and so I can get some feedback about what people expected, what works, what doesn't work, that kind of thing. But so yeah, I sort of declared it, and then it was just dropped in my lap, and I went, okay, I get it.
Wow. So do they meet weekly? So how's this going to work?
Here's what I'm thinking. I would like to keep some dynamic documents going in the Facebook group, because right now it's not run through my website. It's run through a group that they put together because they wanted to do this anyway. My initial
It's an online group, you mean?
Yeah, it's just through Facebook.
Okay.
Because they're all, people are all over the country, so.
Oh, got it.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah, this is interesting, beta testing. So you're not seeing these people live.
Nope. No, I wouldn't be. But I have my conference line. So what I was thinking is if we could keep sort of a daily or weekly conversation just going in the Facebook group, I would like to start a couple of different dynamic documents that people add to next to their name, where they're keeping track of the miracles they give and the miracles they receive, and then what some of their gratitude practice is around that. Because I want to shift their attention to what they're doing that already works, so that when they get stuck or they get frustrated, they have a list of proof, a body of evidence that says, hey, you're actually already manifesting, and maybe it didn't manifest in the way that you thought, or maybe it didn't manifest in the way you expected, but you're already doing this. So how can you tap into that energy and that feeling as you take on the next lesson? Because as you know, some of these lessons are a little contentious when you're like, I call bullshit. Like, how am I supposed to love Hitler? How am I supposed to not have hate attacks against somebody who's so ostensibly hurtful? So I was thinking that could be sort of that online community through the Facebook group. And then once every other week, we could use my conference line where people get stuck. And we could actually have a conversation about some of those more contentious topics.
I love it. I totally want to join this beta group. Totally.
Oh, yay. Okay, I'll add you today. That'll be awesome.
Yes.
Really cool. So yeah, we're just gonna, I'll just see how it goes, and
you and I have gotten so much out of talking about the Course in Miracles together, a lot more than I know I would have gotten if I was just going through it on my own with no one to talk to about, these lessons and how it meant,
oh my gosh, I've relied on you. How many times have we just over a lunch said, this thing hit me this way, so I tried to apply it that way, and either I got stuck or I had a miracle happen. I mean, how many relationships have we seen be healed and then get hurt in a new way, and then be healed? And it's bringing those deeper layers to the top. And I think a lot of that is because we have this ability to speak the same language, use the same tools, talk about these same ideas. And it's not just you and I, it's everybody who's ever taken the course, in that higher collective energy around Course in Miracles. And this thing's been around since, the 70s or something like that. So that's a big collective of people who are contributing to the miracle. And I just think this could be really great for us to have names, faces, a community built that we just have an ongoing conversation. And why not into perpetuity? This could go on and on. So
awesome.
Yay, I'll add you. I'm so glad that you like the idea.
I think it's a fantastic idea. And I think the beta testing is a fantastic idea too, because it'll help you kind of figure out what works on an online version, because you're not seeing everyone at the same time. And then to have it augmented by this maybe once a week or something like that, once a month, live online thing. I think it's a great idea. And I think it could be the budding of something huge.
Well, let's hope so, because we need magic now more than ever. I mean, we really need our miracle workers to step up and perform some miracles. And I think that this is the current political environment is the perfect time for us to come forth and do that in very loving ways, in magical ways, and connected ways. And God, if there's anything we can do to help contribute to that, like I said, in Universe Calls, I say yes. Okay, we'll do it.
Yeah. That is awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yay! I'm excited. So how about you? How are your holidays? What are you looking toward in 2017?
I have, in the end of 2016, my entire business went under a huge, massive transformation. Yeah. So 2017 is really about letting the world know about it. So I've got articles that I am publishing. I've already got it scheduled out for people to receive 1 article a month. I'm creating, one exciting thing I'm doing.
Tell me.
I am creating a series of videos on universal laws. So I'm taking one law at a time and showing how its counterpart works in the physical world and how to use it.
I love it. You are the perfect person to do something like that. Is this going to be on your website?
It's going to be on YouTube for subscribers, and I'll post it out to my Facebook and see who picks it up. But yeah, right. I haven't gotten that far ahead yet because right now I'm just, some of the laws I'm familiar with, so I can, kind of do the video quite easily, and others I want to get a little bit more research behind it. Interestingly enough, some of them correspond very much to a lot of laws of physics, not necessarily quantum physics, but physics itself, which is interesting because, a lot of these laws of physics were done in the 1600s, and yet they, at the time, had no idea that what we're seeing in the physical world in terms of physics had its complementary component in the metaphysical world.
Right. Yeah. How cool to bridge that gap. How neat to put the two pieces together and show how they connect. Because I think a lot of the times, a lot of the resistance to some of, what looks like woo-woo or magic or spiritualism or whatever, I think a lot of the resistance is that bridge hasn't effectively been built, at least not in a popular way. Not everybody's read the book, that connects the two, or taken the quantum physics class or whatever. So we need people who speak layman's terms, who live their life, who are doing their own work, talk in a way that marries these two things so that people can make sense of it in their lives and believe it, and believe that it's even effective, because going through the motions is never going to do it, right? If we can't feel the truth of what we're trying to build and be, we can't become that truth. So you are the perfect person to do this. I'm so excited. I'm glad I'm a subscriber to your channel. I can't wait.
Thanks. Yes, I plan on having the first video go out on the 27th of this month, and it's on the law of beliefs.
Perfect. Got to start there.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm stoked for that. That is so cool.
Yes, and then next month I'm almost done preparing the second one, which is the law of attraction, except that people confuse it a lot of times with the law of belief. And so I separated it out into 2 videos so that people can understand the difference between the law of beliefs and the law of attraction.
Super smart. Super smart. See, that's not something that people have done, at least not effectively. I know that there have been a lot of talk about it in a lot of the LOA works, but that piece has almost been, it's just sort of been slid into place. Like, hey, it's not going to happen if you don't believe it. If you can't visualize it, if you can't feel it in your bones, it's not going to happen. And that's true. But what people don't understand is that there's a shift that happens. There's this, the way I describe it, and I'm totally thrilled to find out how you describe it and see how the two link up for you. But I've always felt like there's what we want, and then there's what wants us. And the moment those two things sync up, that's when the miracles start sliding into place. That's when shit starts to happen. And so much of that belief that needs to be in place has to come from almost that calling, like, yes, that it wants me too. It's not just, oh, I want money, I want a big house, it's that something that says, here's a purpose for this thing to arrive in your life. And when those two things come together, now it's something you can't help but be active about. Now it's something you can't help but work toward. And it's no longer this, policing of your thoughts or trying to manufacture or manhandle your life into something that you think it's supposed to look like. It's divinely inspired, and it's divinely felt and believed. And I love that you're separating those out and making it clear what that is for people.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to what you were talking about, like, giving people the science behind the woo-woo, because the universe is ordered. So there has to be a specific way in which it works. And for me, if I understand the logic behind it, the why it works, it's easier for me to do it, because I think a lot of people are getting the message that they just have to have faith, just have faith that it's going to work out. And faith is not enough, because faith usually comes with a lot of doubt, which undoes the entire process. Which, if you don't understand how the process works, you don't even realize how doubt is keeping you from having what it is that you want. So this is kind of, putting some science behind the feelings and the thoughts, the things that we can't touch, see, smell, taste, the things that are beyond our five senses. We can, the emotions, and putting some sense to how they work, how our thoughts work, how our feelings work, how they affect our lives. I mean, we know how they make us feel, but what's the ripple effect after that?
Right. Yes. That actually makes me think of the last thing, or one of the last conversations we had on conscious conversations that you brought up that I thought was so brilliant, was the hope as a defense mechanism of the ego. And something you just said there, where you have doubt, where you're trying to have faith, often what you're doing instead is trying to counteract doubt. And that's really closely related to what you were saying about hope being that defensive mechanism. So you think you're being faithful, you think you're trusting in your purpose, your passion, God, whatever, and instead what you're doing is putting up a denial mechanism, a coping mechanism against that doubt. And when you resist doubt, doubt persists, right? So it's,
Yes.
I love that you're going to differentiate and help people understand what that really looks like and feels like to be deep in belief in a way that is authentically faithful, not as a counteraction to fear and doubt, but actually believing fully and wholeheartedly that whatever is next is next, that whatever is to be manifested is this is your next step to manifest that. There was something in Course in Miracles recently that said something like that, and I wish I had the book here so I could quote it, but it really hit home that we tend to think of manifestation and actualization and creation of miracles as something we do, and that completely bypasses this listening process, this receiving process, that if we are truly co-creators with God, universe, source, whatever you want to call it, subconscious, whatever you want to call it, if we are truly co-creators with that thing, then we are co-creators. We do it in concert with one another, not I want it, therefore I am going to call for it to happen. There's a listening process that says, what's my part in this? What is right for me? What is right? What is my right impulse, my right impression, my right influence? And without that listening piece, we're simply trying to exert our ego's will. We're simply trying to exert this limited mind view of what we think we need, which is only part of who we are and what we need. And I think that these videos are going to be a huge factor in helping people understand this balance between the physical and the woo-woo, or the spiritual and the physics of it, so that people can really understand, like you're saying, how it works. There's a lot more buy-in when you can understand it, when it's not just a faith-based thing.
Yeah, and that reminds me, I'm going to have to put in the little description box for these videos that I highly recommend that people watch it more than once. Because even with my books, I don't fluff around. I don't throw in a bunch of stories and tangents and all that. I'm like, here it is. This is what the law is. This is how it looks like. And this is how you can use it in your life to make a difference. And that's it could seem simple on the surface, but it's a condensed amount of information. I mean, this is condensed from all the readings that I've done, and I might not realize that I have a host of knowledge behind one sentence that I'm saying that to me seems clear, but could be like kind of like this, you know, the deep end for somebody to be like, where they really need to ponder it. And so
Yes.
I hope that people will watch the videos over and over again. Because, for example, I started rewatching one of my class videos that I took when I was learning about doing theta healing and doing healings for people, healing their auras, their chakras, and things like that. And now that I know so much more, the information, I hear it on a different level, on a much, much deeper level. And all the little nuances that, you know, I didn't capture the first time, I'm capturing now. So it's kind of like, I think the videos are going to be like trying to get a drink from a fire hydrant.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you just got to keep coming back again and again and again, because there's going to be a lot of water that you missed the first time. I'm
And
giving
think
a
about
lot of
that.
information.
If you do that, you remind them to watch and review and get, you know, allow themselves deeper and deeper learning. If you can do that in conjunction with, you know, having that call to action that says, tell me where you have questions, that'll help you deconstruct some of those things you take for granted because you're so highly educated, because you're so deep in this, not just the knowledge of it, but the wisdom of it, because you live it. And when you can get good at deconstructing that for people, you'll be able to make that into a course or make that into a newsletter series or a book or something that takes it on a more basic level. So rather than a fire hose, at least now it's a garden hose, you know? Right? And then maybe at some point a pitcher, and then maybe just a shot glass that allows people to go, okay, I get that piece. But that'll help you be better at disseminating this information in a way that's digestible for people too, because as one of the things I love about you and the passion that you have for your work is you really want it to be something that people implement in their lives. This isn't something that, you know, buy my book and I don't care if you read it. You really want to affect change. You really want to help people be better at who they are and what they do. And the fact that you're putting this out there in such a big, bold, public way with a reminder like that, hopefully with a call to action that says, tell me where you get stuck, you know, that's gonna help everybody win on the.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, there's no point in doing it if we're not changing lives.
Right? Like, what are we here for? This isn't about me listening to the sound of my own voice. Yeah, it's actually about affecting some change and helping people answer some questions for themselves about their happiness, their fulfillment, their wholeness. And I think we're finally at an age where we understand why that's important. I think we're finally at a place where we feel the gap in our lives when we're not whole, when we have healing to do. And people are hungry to fill that with something good.
Yeah. So why don't we tell people how they can get a hold of you, so that when you're done beta testing the Course in Miracles, anybody who wants to sign up for a real course knows where to go.
Yeah, or come on for the beta too. Why not, right? Yeah, you can reach me at Triffany. Just remember there's an R in there, just like Tiffany with an R, TriffanyHammond.com. You can also follow my YouTube channel at youtube.com/Triffany Hammond. And of course, I'm on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. And there's a million ways to get a hold of me. There's no reason we can't stay in touch and grow and learn and be better people together. So how about you? How can we reach you, Dr. Thebaud?
I have tons of information and articles and free stuff on my website, and that's www.artoflovinglife.com. And stay tuned for that YouTube video that we just talked about. And I'm not quite sure what my YouTube thing is. It's probably //Sandra Thebaud. But if you look in the information box for this video, all of the information on Triffany and myself will be there, as well as links to our websites.
Perfect. You want to stay in touch with Dr. Thebaud, I'm telling you right now. You want this woman in your circle.
And Tiffany, I gotta say, you are one of the closest people in my life, and I am so blessed, especially, this weekend and all the craziness that happened. I'm so blessed to have you in my life.
Well, we need each other, don't we? Likewise. You've been one of my greatest gifts, and to be on this journey with you, doing something like this, however long this is gonna last, and whatever this is gonna turn into. I think that what you and I do together serves as a really great example for people who are looking for better, more positive, more dynamic relationships in their lives and don't know what that looks like and don't know what those conversations sound like. And for anybody who thinks that we're just talking about this stuff because we're on this conscious conversation, these are our conversations. When we sit at lunch, yes, there's people and there's circumstances, but we go beyond the bitching and we say, okay, so where's the lesson? Where's the practice? And when you can find somebody that is able and willing to do that for you at whatever level, that's where your growth really accelerates. And that's what Sandra's been for me. And I'm so glad to hear that I've been able to be that
for me
too. Yes, thank you. Yay.
Cool. All right. So I guess this is a good place to say goodbye to our viewers, and not goodbye, but until next time.
See you next time.